This is part three of the Heart series. In parts one and two, we've seen that because of our fallen human nature, we are born with a heart condition, a tendency to store things that harm our lives, steal our peace, and shape our eternal destination. So the question becomes, what do we do about it? How do we remove the harmful deposits stored in our heart? Jealousy, envy, hatred, lust, and these things that quietly defiles us from within. Now, when someone has a heart condition, they seek a doctor or a heart specialist. In the same way, when we come to the realization that we do have a spiritual heart condition, we must seek a spiritual specialist. But here's one important point: the person must decide to seek help. I had an uncle who showed clear symptoms of heart disease. He refused to go to the doctor. He died, and he didn't have to. Likewise, a person must decide to seek help for their spiritual heart condition, and that decision is what I call coming to our senses. It begins with an awareness of what's stored in our hearts, a sickness that thinks that I don't like these things stored in my heart, right? It comes from a remorse and a desire to change. Great thing that really tells us about this condition, a story in the Bible, is from the book Luke chapter 15, verses 11 through 32. Jesus tells the parable of the prodigal son. After squandering his inheritance, the son ends up eating the feet of pigs. Read the whole story. Now, can you imagine that? He he looked at his condition, he felt remorse, he decided to go back, he planned to confess, to apologize, and even take the position of a servant. That story shows us awareness, remorse, and then repentance and how they work together. So how do we get rid of harmful deposits stored in the heart? We must come to our senses like the prodigal son, turn away from what is destroying us, and ask the true heart specialist, God, Jesus Christ, for our transformation. Now, this is not just a repeated prayer or just walking up in an altar due to emotions. It's not a formula. It's a sincere, heartfelt conversation between you and God, between your heart and God's ears. We'll continue this conversation next week in the Heart series, part 4.